let's prepare now. This is when everything goes a bit skew-with. The internet should work because I'm literally, I can touch my door, and that's where it will work best. So it should be surprised. I'm not going out in the rain. Cool. Amazing. Now, this is when. Great. That was quick. That went live quick. Very nice. Hello, welcome everybody to Frenzy Comedy. Woohoo! We are here. Yes, we are live. We are live and alive. Hey. Oh, nice warm-up joke there. Gosh. 2 weeks of no online gigs, and here we are. This is nice, isn't it? Let me think. What jokes did I ever first say? No, it is nice because, you know, I don't know what else I would be doing really. It's not like the sun is out. Typical UK. We've had our sort of dose, isn't it? That's our rations for the sun. It's now going to rain. That's good. Talks about the weather. Good old British weather. I don't know how you guys are finding this. We have got a kind of freedom, so it is nice. It's exciting. I will be honest with you. I'm still getting used to it. I'm not at the point where I'm walking up escalators. You know, they're still doing the work for me. But I'm at the gym, so that's quite nice. So I'm getting fit. This is yes, thank you. It sounds like I'm doing more of an update of what I've been doing for the last 2 weeks. So let me crack on to a couple of jokes. Let's see. I saw today in the shopping centre vaccines. Come on, everybody, get your fucking vaccines. I saw today these COVID marshals walking around the shopping centre today, and they were going around saying, look, to the public, you know, going up to them, please can you book your jab, your appointment for a jab? And I think that's a great way to do it, to go out and find some people to do that job. Or you can get them to give you a COVID testing kit. Great, I think that's great. So I had a little chat with them, and then I was like, so it's a job you're doing, and you know, you're talking to the public and encouraging them. Have you had your vaccine? And their response was, well, we all have different booking dates. So was that a yes or was that a no? Didn't really get a yes or a no. I took that as they haven't yet. And then they got very awkward and wanted to walk away. So I don't know, it's a bit like, there's no joke in there. I'm just a bit baffled by it. I have decided a few weeks ago to stop smoking, hence why my voice is a bit up and down. It's weird, strange things happen when you stop smoking. Not a fan of it, don't like it at all. And also there's just so many different things, isn't there, to choose from, how to stop, how to, I mean, there's a book that I read once, How to Quit Smoking, and I quit reading. Yeah. And I'm not into the vapors either, the whole vapor thing, partly because I just don't like all the smoke around it. It's too much. You know, I don't want to go to an event and, you know, and all this vapor around me and people thinking I'm going to be some character for the program Stars in the Eyes. You know, no, I'm not, no, you know, it's too much. But it is a challenge. And it's certainly not helping my temper. So anyway, we have lovely acts from all around the UK, all together, and obviously Canada. Is it Canada? Canada. It is Canada. It is Canada. Is it Canada, Abby?
Me? California.
California. There you go. I knew it was California. I was just seeing if the mic worked, and then just testing. So we are going to start with our first act. He's very cool. So from South Africa, but lives in the UK. So he has been on Frenzy quite a few times. So how are we feeling in the Zoom ring? And we all right. We're looking pretty chilled. I like this. Let's have a round of applause for our first act, Gareth Ball. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Very, very nice looking audience. So are we all feeling fit and well? Energized? Yes. What? No, Dan. No, you look like you're fit and well. No. I'm feeling fit and well. Well, I was feeling fit and well, you know, because I've been getting out to the gym and getting fit. But then somebody said to me, "No, Gareth, you're looking like you're a bit out of shape, Gareth. No, you're a bit out of shape. Got a bit of a dad bod, Gareth. A bit of a dad bod." It's like, I'm not even a dad. No, I'm not even a dad. No, I haven't got a dad bod. I haven't got a dad bod. I've got a Mac bod. A MacBod. No, and that's not short for McDonald's or a clan in Scotland. No, I got the MacBod, the middle-aged comedian bod. That's what I got. Yeah, the middle-aged. Yeah, I've got happy hands. I've got laughing lats. Giggling guns. Yeah. I got the MacBod. Yes, but yeah. So I think Anna mentioned it earlier. We are well Monday. This coming Monday, it was supposed to be Freedom Day. It was supposed to be Freedom Day. We were supposed to get all our freedoms back and go out to the big wide world, but it's been postponed for another 4 weeks. Because of all the mutant strains of COVID. Yeah, yes, Abby knows what I'm talking about. All the mutant strains of COVID, because you had the mutant strain from India, you had the which they call Delta now, Delta. Yeah, then you had the one from Brazil. I don't know. It hasn't got a name. And then you had the one from South Africa. That's Beta. And then the one from England. That's Alpha. But I disagree because I'm not Beta. I think the one from England's Beta. Well, I want to swap. I want Alpha. Yes. No. So you got all these mutant strains of COVID, right? And it's just got me thinking, where is the next mutant strain going to come from? Where's it going to come from? I'm thinking the KFC in Shepherd's Bush. Yeah, I'm thinking no, seriously, because I was at the KFC in Shepherd's Bush the other night. Yes, and I didn't feel good the next day. Oh no, I didn't feel good the next day. No, seriously, I had a temperature, I had a headache, I was coughing, I was sneezing. Yeah, I even lost my sense of taste and smell. Yeah, I did not feel good. Yeah, I did not feel good, and that was back in 2001. Yeah, that was back in 2001. So yeah, no, we need to keep an eye on the KFC in Shepherd's Bush. Yeah, chicken's very oily. Yeah, but like with all these mutant strains of COVID, right? Like, what type of mutants are these? What type of mutants are these? Are these X-Men or Ninja Turtles? Wolverine or Donatello? Yeah, bad sideburns and a razor claw, or pizza eaters in a sewer? Because we need to know, because that's the only way we'll know if the vaccine works. Yeah, because I had my vaccine the other day. Yeah, I had it the other day, and then it was all nice. Like I went, it was in a shopping center, and I went into the room, and the lady said, like, do you give your consent to be vaccinated? And I said, yes, I give my consent. I'm a consenting adult. I give my consent. And then she said, okay, fine. Now I'll just explain a few things. Everything will be fine, but you might have some mild side effects, just some mild side effects, but don't listen to those anti-vaxxers. You're not going to grow a third arm or a third leg. And I'm like, but I want crazy side effects. I want a third arm. I want a third leg. I want a mutation. I'm like, how else are we going to fight this thing? Because why does Peter Parker? Why is he the only one who gets to get bitten by a radioactive spider? I want crazy side effects. Yeah, but like, it's been a few weeks now and I haven't had any side effects. But I reckon if I did get side effects, probably the worst that would happen is that I'd grow a third nipple. Yeah, like, no, because that's what happened to Chandler and Friends. He had a third nipple. He called it his nubbin. Yeah, he called it his nubbin. But he still ended up with Monica, so wasn't all that bad. But like, imagine if he grew a third arm or leg. He may have ended up with Rachel or Phoebe. So yes. Oh wait, there's chat. There's comments coming here. Thank you. The beta Trump strain. Yes. Orange like Trump. Yes. Very orange. I like this. This is what I like about Zoom. The heckles come in the chat. I like it. It's very polite, Abby. Very polite. Normally when I'm live on stage, like, people throw shoes and cabbages at me, but this is a lot more polite. Thank you. So yeah, but like, that's the other thing, because Abby, I heard, Abby, that in some parts of America you have vaccine passes. Don't you need vaccine passes? I think it's in New York. You need vaccine passes to go places, don't you? Yeah. And I reckon they're going to start that here in the UK. Like, they say they're not, but I reckon they will. You can't trust Bojo. Like, I reckon they will, because I reckon you're going to need a vaccine pass, to go to the supermarket, to go to the pub, to go to the football. I reckon that you will even need a vaccine pass to have sex. Yeah, no, you will. No, you will, because I remember when when I used to have sex, in the before times, when, no, it did happen, Abby. It did. Thank you for the laugh, but it did happen. It did. No, it did. Before times, long time. No, because back in those days, like, when I was with the lady and we were about to get intimate, the lady would say to me, Gareth, have you got protection? Have you been Pfizered? No, oh shit, I fucked up that punchline. No, don't worry. We'll go to the next joke. But like serious, but like this vaccine pass, like it might not be a bad thing, like especially for men, because like if you a man and you're playing the dating game, you have to be at the top of your game. Yeah, you have to be at the top of the game. You have to be good looking, charismatic, funny, well dressed, have a sense of humor. You've got to be at the top of your game. But I can just imagine in this new normal, a lady will be in a pub or a club and she'll be eyeing out gentlemen suitors, and she'll see a man and she'll think, he's a bit scruffy, not very good looking. Not very good looking. Oh, he's as dull as dishwater. Not charismatic at all. Yeah, but at least he still has his sense of smell. He's a keeper. Yeah, he's a keeper. Yeah. So, but like, I even heard like on the dating apps now, apparently there's like an algorithm or a feature that can say to people if you've been vaccinated or not. Yeah. And I can just imagine like these profile features. It will be like brown hair, 5'10", and Pfizered. Yeah. Or virile and vaccinated, or 8 inches and immunized, or jabbed and getting jiggy with it. Yeah, that will all be like that. Yes. I don't do the dating apps. I'm too old. I'm middle aged. You don't middle age. You don't do dating apps. Yeah, but somebody once said to me, but like, Gareth, you are not middle age. You're not middle age. And it got me thinking, well, what is middle age? Where does it start? Where does it end? What are the perimeters? What is middle age? And I think I've come up with a solution or the definition. Like, if you know what VHS is, you are middle age. Yeah, no, you are. Yeah, Abby's nodding. Because Abby, nobody under 20 knows what VHS is. Nobody. I'll give you an example. Last summer, I was visiting my friend. We're sitting in the back garden, barbecue, a few beers, and then we start reminiscing, about all those old movies we used to watch on VHS. And then his children heard us and they said, "Oh, what's VHS? What's VHS? Is that the new strand of COVID?" So you see, they didn't know. They didn't know. No, they didn't. They didn't know. Yeah, because for those of you who are young enough, Dan, do you know what VHS is, Dan? Yeah. You do. Can you remember it? Well, I'm going to give you a history lesson anyway, Dan, because you look like a man who likes history. Because basically what happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It was basically 35 to 40 years ago, before streaming and Netflix, even before DVDs. Dan will remember, we used to watch our movies on an item called a video cassette that you would insert into a video recorder. and the main item of video cassette was called VHS. But VHS had a competitor called Betamax, or Beta for short. Yes, and and the tapes were smaller. It wasn't one size fits all. You couldn't mix and match. It wasn't one size and fits all. It wasn't like a condom or socks. So there was a civil war going on within the video viewing world, and only one of these between VHS and Beta was going to survive. Can you remember which one survived, Abby? Can you remember which one lived? Not. It was VHS. Got to get with the history, Abby. Yes. No. Dan remembers. Yes. No. Because Beta was never going to survive. Who calls a product Beta? Who? They should have just given it a better name. Like Alpha Max. Yeah. Or even better, Mad Max. Yeah, Mad Max. He kicked VHS's ass. He kicked his ass because think about it. What are you more afraid of? VHS, which is an acronym for disease that takes away your sense of smell, or Mad Max, which is basically Mel Gibson killing Australians in the outback. Yeah, I know which one I'm more afraid of. And on that note, that is my time. Back to Anna. Thank you.
Lovely. Gareth Ball. Whoop, whoop. Yes, VHS. I do remember those. VHS. Fantastic. Yes, good. That was lovely. KFC. Talk about KFC chicken. I actually did have a KFC chicken today. So there we go. I hope I don't get unwell. No, seriously, on the vaccines. Do you know, apparently there's more symptoms now you can get from COVID. They've said that we need to add these to the list of symptoms. I know that obviously they want to encourage people now younger, 18 and over, to get the vaccine as well. So any students out there, and you're out there having fun, and the next day you wake up with a slight headache, feeling a bit tired, that's not a hangover. That's possible symptom of COVID. So add that to the list. Possibly, because there's so many symptoms now. Good. So let's go on to our next act. It's really nice. He's joined us at last minute, so thank you for joining us. He's looking, as always, very chilled. And yeah, he's smiling. I think he's there. He's smiling, and it's good to see him again as well. So have a nice round of applause in the Zoom room for Emmanuel Puak Griffith. Woohoo!
Hold on.
This is the disco lights coming in. I like this. We get.
Hey, I'm back with a bear. No, thanks. Yeah, you didn't expect that. It was coming out of nowhere. Like, what's he doing? What's coming? Bear. Yeah, man. So, who's watched the new Zack Snyder movie? You know, the zombie one with Baptista in it.
Nah.
No one? Ah, okay. Your life is better than mine then. Because I happened to watch it and it was a good film, but it was a bit too much about dicks. So it's a zombie movie, but too much about dicks. I don't understand it. But you know, because it starts off like, you know, this alien zombie type thing, and then the alien zombie crashes into a car while this guy's getting his dick sucked, you know. So now that dick has released the bad dick, you know. So now this zombie dick is walking around infecting people, you know. So, and they have to lock down the city because the zombie is infecting everyone with his dick. So now they have to send in a good dick starring Baptista, you know. So he's now going to take his dick in to fight the bad dick, you know. But by now the city has been taken over by the bad dick. So they have only 24 hours before they blow the place up, before the government blows the place up. Yeah, because they've got to go in there and get a experimental supply of, you know, sperm and then come out again. So the government's going to blow the whole place up because the government don't know the difference between good dick and bad dick. So it's all going to blow up the whole place. So that's the breakdown of that movie. You're welcome. You can enjoy it when you want to see it.
Oh.
You know, it's just all about a dick.
Would we be able to find that kind of thing on VHS back in the day?
No, because it just came out on Netflix.
Oh. It's modernized. Okay, wow. Oof.
Exactly.
Sounds.
We do Netflix over here, mate.
Okay.
You know what? I was thinking to myself, yeah, in what scenario is it okay to rape a man in self-defense? You know? See if you're in prison, yeah, and like there's Big Mike and he's the big guy, but you can't fight, but you can fuck though. So you're thinking, if I rape Big Mike, it's not gonna hurt him, but it will destroy him on the inside. So, you know, it's just in case, prison talk, you know. I'm just thinking ahead. You know, when is it self-defense to rape a guy? And that is the only scenario I've come up with. You know, it's not going to be like the burglar's broken in your house and the only way you can suppress him by lowering his pants down and, you know, rape him vigorously.
Are you meaning like rape from a man's to man perspective, or you mean in general unisex from a woman? Because that would be
just the man.
That would be okay, right? Be quite difficult, isn't it?
Because I mean, because it's like prison, you know, you gotta be hard in prison.
Yeah.
And I got up, and you know, this whole vaccination thing's scary. You know, because it's like we need to get more black people getting the jab. You know, and I've come up with a slogan. You know, and it's called "No Jabs, No Air Jordans." You get me? That'll get black people rushing to get the jab, and I think it's going to do well. You know, because get this, during the lockdown, I've done 3 things. One of them was start a TikTok account. The other one was take acid, and the third one was start celebrity beef with Mo Gilligan. You know, yeah. I'll tell you how that happened is because someone put a picture up on their page of Mo Gilligan next to a picture of Bernie Mac, and I was like, and I put on there, no way, you can't compare these two. There's no way, they're not in the same league. You could put a monkey in a suit and he'll have the same career as Mo Gilligan. You know, I put that there, and then not less than an hour later, he responds to me. This is not a Mo Gilligan's page. I haven't added him in the page. And he writes to me, okay, I'll see that you're a comedian. I'll see you around. Keep that same energy. And I was like, okay, that's a compliment and a threat at the same time. That's one, he's saying I'm going to get at that level where he will actually see me, you know? And two, I'm possibly going to have to fight him when I see him, you know? And he don't know that I'm 6'4" and he's only 5'3". So that's gonna, you know, that's going to be a pretty awkward situation.
Unless he rapes you.
Yeah, in self-defense.
In self-defense.
Exactly. Then you know, he hits me with the Rohypnol and I'm down, and then I wake up and I'm all sore. I'm like, I can't sit down for a couple of weeks. You know, the corners of my mouth are a bit moist. Like, what have you done?
Oh, shit.
What has he done to me? I've been raped by Mo Gilligan in self-defense. He saw he couldn't fight me. So he decided to rape me instead. You know, how would I say that to the BBC?
Don't think you can.
Well, the BBC in it.
See, that's the thing, because the BBC last year said we are no longer filming third world children in Africa. You know, I was like, that's okay, that's good. They came up with another report straight afterwards. We are now filming third world children in Swansea instead. I was like, okay, cool. Because that's saving money. You don't have to send Henry all the way to South Africa. or you know, you could just send him up the M25. You know, that's saving loads of money, yeah? And the thing is, and also the producer of Luther, the detective show starring Idris Elba, he put out a tweet saying, that the show isn't accurate because Luther doesn't have any black friends or eat at a Caribbean restaurant. So I, as a humble citizen of blackness, took it upon myself to reply to him on Twitter. And I said to him, no, the show is very accurate and very correct, because at the end of the day, we have to realize that he is a police officer. So he's not going to hang out with any black friends or eat in a restaurant. So basically, keep up the good show and keep up, and please inquire for me to be an extra on the next series. You know, so there's been my findings through lockdown, and I'm going to leave you with this one question. You know, have you ever seen a comedian, yeah, that's so depressed he's just one bad gig from killing himself? You know, and you're like secretly, because you want stage time, you secretly want them to do it.
Oh my God.
And good night.
Emmanuel Puak Griffith. Lovely for majority. No, lovely. Always fun. Always fun. Thank you, Emmanuel. Just to remind you, everybody who's watching, this is a comedy show. Just in case you were thinking the hell. It's I'm gonna be really honest here. I've never actually gone. Never seen a comic go up there. I wonder if he is. But there were moments, who knows, through the pandemic. We all had tough times. But it is quite strange to go from online gigs to going back to live. I have to say, it felt a bit weird the first couple of gigs. Do you know what I mean? It's probably, you know, I got so used to sitting still, you know, and then going up on sort of where you've got space. You know, I was just running around walking around for no reason. I just had no reason to walk. But that was nice. It was like my legs and my upper body were not connected because, you know, it was just, they were so excited, my legs to be out. And they really are pushing this whole jab thing. And I'm just going back to like what they were saying, like I was saying earlier with these marshals, these COVID marshals. It did actually piss me off because there's so many jobs out there that, you know, people are saying you can only do this job now if you have the vaccine. And yet I met people today who were offering the vaccines, giving appointments out and testing kits, yet they had not been vaccinated. You cannot get closer to being, you know. And I was like, it's all up in there. It doesn't mean I'm against it. It's just, it means, you know, let it loose for some places. Now, how long is this football for? How is it the Euros? How long?
It's for 1 month.
1 month. Interesting. 1 month, and yet we've now got another 4 weeks of lockdown.
Exactly. So it's going to perfectly end when this ends.
Perfectly. Interesting. I personally, I do like football, but I prefer EastEnders. So I'm not that bothered. Just for the month, I am bothered, but I can take it. I can take it because I'll be binge watching EastEnders. So that, you know, every cloud has a silver lining. But that's only on Mondays, so I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. Might see you on Thursdays for Frenzy, do the odd gig here. But interesting. So Euros for 1 month, and we are locked down for another month. Interesting. Rape. No, I got rape for some reason. I wrote down rape, but you've already talked about that. Do you think, you know, the mutants, because they sound, I don't know why, but in my head they sound kind of like they could have cartoon heads. I don't know, you know, like the Minions, they will have like slightly different mutants. You know, you could get t-shirts in the future with like different mutants on, going, hey, you know, like when people go away. I went on holiday and all I came back with this lousy t-shirt. You know, you could go around. I went to work and all I came back was with this lousy Indian variant mutant. You know, that could become a fashion once we get over it. Distance, pleasure, pain. Great. I'm really excited about our next act. It's always great to have her on Friday. She's all the way from California. Not Canada, California. This is an afternoon gig for her, so she'll just about have started drinking. This is when you start drinking, Abby. Is it alcohol? You have your first wine around this time. It's when I first
started during COVID.
Lovely. And she's wonderful and lovely to have her back as well. The doctor is here. So can we have a nice warm round of applause for Abby November?
Now, most comics say, how the hell are you? And I don't give a shit, so I never ask. You gotta be honest in this world. And when Anna said, can you do a tight 10 or a tight 5? I said, honey, I haven't been tight since 1969. And Gareth is talking about middle age. Well, forget about that because I'm way up there. Medicare, Medicaid. I remember Woodstock. That was 1969. And if you remember Woodstock, you've heard of Woodstock, haven't you?
Yeah.
If you heard of it, if you remember it, you were not there. And the only thing I remember is the back seat of a 57 Chevy. I was on top. And I hope my grandson's not watching this because he thinks I'm filthy. I was billed in Colorado as the world's most inappropriate grandma. Isn't that disgusting? I am an MD after all. Well, not anymore. I lost my license. But that's neither here nor there. I was operating and I went to the wrong side of the body, but I immediately stitched back up and used plastic surgery. And some people are just so picky. Anyway, so I became an author and I'm writing lots of medical books. I think I told Anna about it. You know, the first one was Sexuality, Lube It or Lose It, from puberty till your plots. And if you don't know what that is, you're in bad trouble. But the most important chapter is on lubrication. Well, I don't know how many of you are gay or any kind of gender fluid, or you don't know if you have balls or not. You need lubrication, or if you're an old wrinkled prune like me, you need lubrication. There is nobody, even the zombies need lubrication. And you don't have to spend a fortune. I know you're on socialized medicine in the UK. Lucky you. But you know, things like Reclens or KY jelly or Astroglide, even Vaseline, you don't need that. You can make it from natural products. Like if you live in the deep south of the US, God save your soul. Now you've heard of Alabama and Mississippi, where the family reunion is a dating app on your phone, but that's besides the point. And they have lard. They have a lot of lard, and it's fairly cheap. And all you have to do, Dr. Abby has done research on this, is heat it up, put it in a bathtub, and bathe in it. Put it under your arms, put it in your hair. It looks like Gareth could use it. And it will help grow some. Dan too, I think. But you know what they say about bald men? They have more important things to do with their hormones than grow hair. Ain't that the truth, guys? And so that's lard. And whatever's left over, Anna makes great pie crust and wonderful biscuits. They're flaky.
Oh.
Now, I'm Jewish. If you have a problem with that, you're a Nazi skinhead bastard, and I will take you out in no time. And I'm really a sweet little old lady, Anna. And use chicken fat. It's free. Some Weisenheimer in the audience once said, I'm a vegan. And I said, use olive oil. And when that's over, make salad dressing. But with chicken fat, Anna, you heat it up and you could really lube yourself good. You can put in your ears, in your nostrils, in your hoo-ha, and that's the medical term. And every orifice. I don't have to identify what an orifice is. Do I, Gareth? You know what an orifice. Yeah, he knows. Dan, you know what an orifice? He's busy playing with Mr. Happy. When I talk about sex, Dan is there going like that. Anyway, when you have leftover, thank you. Gareth, you too, and Emmanuel, keep those hands up where I can see them. Thank you. Chicken fat, when it's left over, folks, when it's left over, I'm very professional. Oh, you got a big one, huh? Professional. You can make chicken soup, and that's a Jewish penicillin, and it prevents COVID. Now, I'm not going to tell you to drink it or inject it like Trump told people about the Clorox. Remember, I don't know if you heard that in the UK. He claims he was misquoted, but he said, what wouldn't it be great if we could just take Clorox and either drink it or inject it, because we found that Clorox killed the coronavirus. So there are some stupid people in this world that have actually listened to that. Anyway, there are also people that, I hope you're not an anti-vaxxer. I believe in the vaccine. I took the Moderna, there's the Pfizer, and I don't know what else there is. And the results, you know, you said you had a headache and a fever, but it's a hell of a lot better than COVID. I've been talking to a lot of Zoom comics around the world, and one of my comic friends in the US is called a long hauler. Doesn't refer to his penis. It means that he got COVID early before the injection, and he has symptoms to this day for like a year and a half. Anyway, I was giving you a medical lecture. You didn't want to hear that. Anna, my book, Lube It or Lube It, has been flying off the shelf at Barnes & Noble, at Amazon. I think you have a really famous book. I should send you a copy, but the latest book I'm writing is for old farts like me. No, I'm beyond middle-aged. I voted for JFK, and if you don't know who he is, get lost. But I'm pretty senior. My son just had his 53rd birthday, so do the math there. See that? Oh my God. I can't believe I'm this old. I would have taken better care of myself. Well, anyway, but I'm still a hot old lady. I'm just looking for a hot old man. That's the truth. You think if I had a stud muffin at home, I'd be here talking to you schmucks? No. And, you know, who's the one that said 8 inches and vaccinated? That was a good one.
That was me.
What should I say? I have a 38D, but they're really a 38 long. I don't know if you have the same size measurements in the UK. Anyway, I been married a long time, 55 years. And let me tell you, I want you to, usually people clap, but you're just jaded. Because I want to tell you, it's 55 long and boring years. And we're still together because I'm deaf and he wears hearing aids. But I try to perk up the old sex life, you know, if there is one. And I read Cosmo magazine. Gareth, do you read that magazine? Do they have magazines? Do you read?
Sometimes.
But in that issue, it said, greet your spouse at the door wearing nothing but saran wrap. I did it. He looked me up. He looked me down. And then said, leftovers? Again? Oh. So that's, it's sad, but I'm still hot in the market for young studs. And Gareth, you're a young stud. Except you have no hair, but that's okay. You can use the chicken fat on your head. It would really work. And what is this obsession? You all have an obsession with zombies. Zombies. I have friends that are vegan and watch The Living Dead. What is it? The Walk of the Living Dead? Do you have the? I said, you're a vegan. How can you watch people eating other people? That's anti-veganism. But I can't say anything because I'm a good person, right? Oh my God. I worked in a nursing home for years and I loved it. However, the first day I started, and you could tell, Anna, I was young and hot one time. I really had it happening. So I go over, there's a little Sicilian man, and you know what they're like. And he's sitting in his wheelchair, and he has a gimme cap on that says Italian Stallion. And he goes like this to me, kiss, kiss. He looked safe. I bent over to kiss him. He grabbed my ass. I said, son of a gun, I should kick you in the balls. And you know what he said? Go ahead. They're in the same jar as my teeth. So I don't want to get any more any more graphic than that, I think I'm going to leave you on that because I don't want you to think that all the old ladies are dirty old. Not rapists, but yeah. You take care, be safe, get vaccinated, and if you're not vaccinated, wear a mask on every body part. Anything that sticks out, Emmanuel, put a mask on it. And if it's open, lubricate, lubricate. Remember to lubricate, lard or chicken fat. Take care. Bye now.
That was lovely. Really cool. Thank you. Happy November. Woo-hoo. Fantastic. Yeah. I love. I just want to come to one of your signings and get an autograph. That's what I'm really looking to do. So I'm looking forward to that. What I'm not sure about right now though, I was actually going to have chicken soup tonight for dinner. I've got it there in my cupboard. I don't know, I might skip that tonight. Too fresh from what I've just heard.
Oh.
You know, just a little, might have to do it. Yeah. But no, that was really nice. You look great for your I don't know how old you are, but you look great for your age, for the fact that you've got a son who's
I'm 77.
Wow, amazing, very cool. Plus and very funny, so very cool. That is cool.
I'm hot.
And hot, yes.
I'm breathing.
I hope I'm not.
Someone says, where do you see yourself in the next year or two? And I said, breathing.
I like that. Gosh, yeah, it's quite impressive. So yeah, this is it's been a really lovely intimate night, and it's really nice to have sort of everyone joining us. Is there anyone that wants to discuss anything while we are live? Isn't it nice? It's nice to be live, isn't it? Especially when we do it this way. In a way, it is quite surreal. I forgot, because it's been 2 weeks of not doing anything online and then coming back on. I can see your lovely faces. I have no idea who else is watching. And I remember, obviously doing live, you could see people's faces.
I got something to discuss.
Let's do this. Yeah.
Okay, quick question, yeah? See, I don't like people who splash money around to impress people, yeah? I think that's similar to what Rose was saying about lubricant, yeah? It's like you're using it to make everyone all easier, softer, around you, just like with money. But you only realize when you stop using it how tight everyone is.
Yeah. A show off here, really, isn't it? Do you think of that, or is this a sensitive topic for you, Abby? A question? Do you think, as being a lubricant sort of expertise, like with a chicken soup, do you think that's the case? Do you think it's like with money, splashing around lubricant, that's a bit of a show off? Do you think
they're showing off because they have a small penis? Even the women.
Yeah.
But only when they stop using it. Only when they stop using it, like the lubricant, they realize how tight everyone is, because they ain't going in their pockets anymore.
They were too tight. If your butt is tight, lubricate. Otherwise, they're losing money.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Yeah.
On this note, that was lovely discussion. Are we okay? Anyone want to add anything to that? I feel like that was.
Hi, Dan.
There we go. It's Dan. He's looking happy. It's nice to see it, Dan, this week.
He's quiet.
It is.
I am going to go. I have to leave and lubricate the old man.
Yeah.
Yes. It was lovely meeting you all, and enjoy your Vegemite or whatever you eat in the UK. And just stay well, and remember chicken fat and lard. Bye.
Round of applause for the acts. Bye, happy November. For happy November, Gareth and Emmanuel. Lovely, cool. You're amazing. Thank you. I'm going to say goodnight as well on Frenzy. Really fun. Thank you for watching. If you are watching,
Thank you, Dan.
keep safe.
Thank you, Anna.
Keep having fun. Lovely to see you guys. No worries, Emmanuel. Thank you, Emmanuel and Dan, for watching. Yes, cool.
Woo.
Keep safe.
Mm.
Woo. Bye.